All right, folks, let's talk about something kind of controversial here in the YouTube world. For those of you that are not one of my students and happen to stumble upon this video, please do realize I'm making this video for high school students. So let's keep the nationalism toned down just a little bit in the comment section, because I've seen that already in some of these. Let's make sure that does not happen here. Those of you that are my students, feel free to comment however you want, because it's your class. Now, when we're talking about Yugoslavia, we need to talk, or the fall of Yugoslavia and the breakup of Yugoslavia, we need to understand where it came from and the history of this country. So first and foremost, it's going to be formed at the end of World War I under the name of the Kingdom of Serbia, Montenegro, under the name of the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. It's going to be later changed to the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, which just means the Kingdom of the Southern Slavs. It's going to be made up of the Kingdom of Serbia, the Kingdom of Montenegro, and then former parts of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So if you remember from the start of World War I, World War I began in this region, okay, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo, which is in Bosnia-Herzegovina. So we're going to have this whole breakup right through here at the end of World War I. Then World War II is going to come around about 20 years later, and it's going to be brutal for Yugoslavia. Okay, they're going to be occupied by the Axis powers, as you can see here on this map right here. The Germans, the Italians occupying them. They are going to be treated horribly at this time period. The Nazis are going to implement a plan. So if one Nazi was killed, they were going to kill 50 Yugoslav citizens at this time period. So if you kill like 3 Nazis, they're going to have 150 of your own people killed, which was Hitler's plan of stopping resistance to the Nazis, and it was fairly successful. There was going to be a lot of resistance movements going on in Yugoslavia, though. The kind of cool thing about Yugoslavia is they're the one country, so to speak, during World War II that wasn't liberated, but liberated themselves. And they were liberated, so to speak, from the Nazis by Josip Broz Tito. Okay, Tito's going to be an important name in Yugoslav history. He's going to rule the country pretty much for its entire existence. It's going to kind of start crumbling once he dies and moves forward. But it's going to be reestablished after World War II as the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Okay, so Tito is going to come in. Tito's a communist. He's going to establish the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Then we're going to get from World War II to the 1980s. We're going to have a lot of little stuff that's going to be happening in here. We're not going to talk about it right now. If you come to IB history, you will go into this, though. So it's going to be the federation of 6 different republics, as you can see right through here, and then 2 autonomous states that are going to be a part of Serbia, okay? So you can see the different republics right through here with their flags. Another thing you need to understand when talking about Yugoslavia is the ethnic tensions, okay? The ethnic tensions are huge in Yugoslavia. Okay, Yugoslavia is a very diverse region with a lot of different cultures, a lot of different ethnic groups, and that's going to be causing pretty much all of the tension that's going to be talked about in this video when it comes to the breakup of Yugoslavia. So you can see on this map right through here, okay, the light green is going to be the Serbs. You see the Slovenes, the Croats, the Montenegrins, the Kosovar Albanians. Okay, we're going to see the Muslim Bosniaks, all these different groups right through here, the Macedonians. It's going to be tense, and it's important to understand that, okay? Ethnic tension is problematic for a number of reasons. Tito can see this as going to be a problematic thing, so he's going to suppress nationalism. He wants a Yugoslav federation. He does not want strong nationalism. He doesn't want Serbian nationalism. He doesn't want Croatian nationalism, because he fears that if that happens, it's going to start breaking the country apart. Historically speaking, that's just what happens. Now, during the Cold War, Yugoslavia is going to be neutral. There's a number of reasons this is going to be happening. It is a socialist country, so you would think they're going to be aligned with the Soviet Union. However, that is not the case, largely due to a personality difference between Tito and Stalin. Again, this is talked about in IB history, so you can come back to that if you're interested in that. For now, don't worry about it. Just understand that it is one of the non-aligned countries during this time. However, during the 1980s, we're going to get this man right here, Slobodan Milosevic. Milosevic is going to come to power in Yugoslavia. He is going to be a Serbian nationalist. He's going to start playing on some of this nationalism. Tito is now dead at this point. Yugoslavia does not have the same strong leader it had before. Milosevic wants to come in and kind of take this role. Additionally, communism is starting to crumble and fall in Europe. Okay, we get the fall of the Berlin Wall. We get Poland, Romania, and then ultimately the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. So communism is faltering. Milosevic is going to come in. He's going to start doing the opposite of what Tito did and suppress that nationalism, and Milosevic is going to increase nationalism, particularly Serbian nationalism. All right, now it is important to understand the governmental structure of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia is going to give each republic 1 vote, plus the 2 autonomous regions. Vojvodina and Kosovo are also going to get their 2 votes. So it's going to be a total of 8 votes when it comes to the governmental structure of Yugoslavia. The president of each republic gets to vote. and ultimately whatever they all decide, that's what's going to happen. Now, we're going to get these things called rallies of truth going on in Serbia and then other parts of Yugoslavia, which large pro-Serbian majorities. And these are going to be protests used by Milosevic's supporters, and they're going to be doing this to instate Milosevic allies of Milosevic into power in Kosovo, Vojvodina, and then Montenegro. Now, this is going to be important because it's going to give Serbia 4 out of 8 votes when it comes to the Yugoslav Federation. So I'm going to talk about that right through here. We get these 8 independent voting republics of Kosovo, or of the Yugoslav Republic, okay, and the Federation right through here. We're going to have the 6 that are going to be their own, and they're going to have the 2 autonomous regions right through here. Now, Milosevic is going to be already in Serbia, okay, the first one where his face popped up, but due to these rallies of truth, he's going to have his loyalists appointed in Kosovo, Vojvodina, and then Montenegro as well. So right through here, this is going to be important because any resolution they might have, okay? You're going to get, for example, the Croatians, the Bosnia-Herzegovinans, okay, the Macedonians, and the Slovenians all voting no on something. However, Milosevic has now appointed his individual people into power in these other 4 countries. So Milosevic is going to vote yes. That also means Kosovo is going to be voting yes because he controls the vote for Kosovo. He's also going to get Vojvodina to vote yes because he controls the vote for Vojvodina. And he's going to be getting Montenegro to vote yes as well because he controls the votes there. So this is important because nothing can pass. Right through here and in these rallies of truth, Milosevic basically became half the voting bloc for Yugoslavia at this time period. So coming back to that same slide, Kosovo is going to be the one that's particularly controversial because Kosovo is going to be considered the center of Serbian cultural identity. Again, we talk about this in depth in IB history, so we'll come through there. Again, it's ethnically Albanian, so they do not like this Serbian nationalism because the vast majority of people in Kosovo are not ethnic Serbs. Therefore, they're going to have some problems with this right through here. And they're going to respond. Kosovo's autonomy is going to be abolished in 1989, making it no longer an autonomous state, but again, a full part of Serbia. The Kosovars are not going to be happy with this, a lot of them. And they're going to lead to a miners' strike. Now, this is going to be significant because Kosovo is the region of Yugoslavia that produced the most amount of metal and iron ore, which is going to be incredibly important for their economy. So the miners are going to strike. Milosevic is going to send in the military. It just does not go well for the miners. Okay, it's going to cause a lot of tension and a lot of problems. It's going to be expanded and talked about a little bit more 10 years later when an ultimate crisis and war breaks out. So it's going to be autonomy in Kosovo abolished, the miners' strike right through there. Now, the full breakup of Yugoslavia. We're going to get the 14th Congress of the League of Communists of Yugoslavia. During this meeting in Belgrade, Serbia, the Slovenian reps are going to call for autonomy. Okay, they're like, we have to break apart. We need to have more autonomy. These individual republics should have more control versus one powerful control altogether. The Serbians are going to be saying, not the case. We need more unity. If we are not all aligned, there's going to be more problems. Yugoslavia is going to crumble. As a result, tensions will rise. Ultimately, Slovenia is just going to leave in protest. So they're like, we're done with this crap. We're out. Serbia is like, hey, let's keep discussing what happens. They left on their own will. Therefore, it's their fault that they can't vote. Let's just keep going. Croatia's like, yo, this is not constitutional. We cannot do this. They're going to leave the meeting in protest, agreeing with Slovenia. Macedonia is also going to leave the meeting, agreeing with Croatia and Slovenia, and it's going to be the last meeting of the communist bloc of Yugoslavia. Now, there's going to be elections held in Croatia, and the Croatian Democratic Party is going to win. This is going to be a center-right political party. They're going to be opposed to communism and a lot of different ideas, and they're going to advocate for an independent Croatia. Now, many ethnic Serbs living in Croatia do not like this for a number of reasons. Now, the Croatian Democratic Party is going to bring back the checkered flag that they have, the checkerboard. Okay, if you are a fan of football, you can see those Croatian soccer jerseys or football jerseys. They're going to have that red and white checkerboard. They're going to bring back this flag, and this is going to be a reminder of past abuse towards Serbs during the World War II and the occupation by the fascists. There's going to be a lot of tension going on, and a lot of abuses happening towards the Serbs under those who flew under that similar flag. That's going to lead to a large amount of fear by Serbs. There's going to be, ultimately, though, this is going to lead to, right through here, lead to Croatian independence. But Croatia, again, has a large Serbian minority. As you can see in this map right through here, everything that is blue is going to be areas with Serbian minorities. The larger or the darker the shade of blue, the larger minority of Serbs or larger group or amount of Serbs living in that region. Okay, you can see right through there's a large chunk of Serbs living in this area. Kind of be causing some tension. Now, the Croatian War of Independence. Knin is going to be a town located right in that area, as you can see shaded in red on the map of Croatia, and it's going to be a Serb majority town. They're going to start a rebellion, and in this rebellion, they're going to block off key roads, which is going to keep the Croatians from being able to move supplies in and out of the region. Croatian helicopters are going to be sent in to end the rebellion by force to basically use military action to stop Knin from rebelling right through here. They're going to be intercepted by Yugoslav fighter jets who are going to be telling them basically, you can turn around or you can be shot down. They're ultimately going to turn back around. This is going to be important, though, because it's going to show that this wasn't simply a local rebellion. They're going to be supported by the Yugoslavs, primarily Milosevic. It's also going to lead to more towns doing the same throughout Croatia because they seek to join Serbia. They don't want to be a part of a Croatian republic that's controlled by Croats. They want to be a part of a Serbian republic in Yugoslavia controlled by Serbs. We'll talk about Slovenian independence in part 2 of this video. It's getting a little long. Break it up. We'll go from there.